Hi, welcome to this new video about the latest workshop software update. As usual, really pumped to deliver a new update coming out for workshop software where we add more functionality, better value for you, and some new cool things. So let's jump straight in there and take a look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under settings and I'm going to go into company settings. And in the company settings here, what you'll notice is we've actually broken this down, made this page look a little bit better, so a little bit easier to understand and formulate in their particular areas. But what I wanted to show you under invoice settings, there's this new invoice format. So if you choose notes at top, what this will do is it will print an invoice with the notes at the top. And let's just jump into the job center and choose a random invoice here, and I'm going to print it out and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So if we just go here to print and go print an invoice, this comes up and you'll notice that the notes are at the top here. Okay, then it's got your labor and your parts and all your normal way that the invoice would print out, right? So that's all there. You'll also notice that there's pages on it. So if it goes over more than one page, you'll notice that it's got page 1 of 2 or 2 of 2 or, 8 of 10, whatever. So it'll print the page numbers as well. The other cool thing that you can do in here is I'm just going to go off and do a quick customer invoice. And I'm going to do a cash sale. So I'm just going to go off and do a cash sale. And we're just going to go and randomly choose a product. Let's say it's this bit of hose. I'm going to go and process this transaction. And this is a quick cash sale that I want to do. So what you'll notice here now is that there's this option to print a docket or print an invoice, right? So I've actually got it set for docket and it will keep that default as well, right? So if I set it for docket, it will print a docket next time. If I leave it at invoice, it'll print an invoice next time. So if I go process, what this does, this goes and processes the invoice, but it also goes and prints it out. And what you'll get is you've got now a docket print as well. So which is a new way, printing a cash sale, that sort of thing, print it out as a docket to a docket printer, which is pretty cool. The other thing you can do is in here, you can actually just print a cash invoice. So it's the same thing, print that docket, right? But you can just say print it as opposed to or including printing an invoice. You can still print a full page invoice if you want, or you can print the little cash docket printer. So a couple of options there with printing out that cash sale, and just makes the point of sale a little bit more effective as well. So another really cool addition to workshop software. Okay, another real cool thing is I'm just going to jump into the products and I'm just going to find a bundle or a kit that I've already got set up in here. So this one has been set to be bundled up here. So in other words, a bundle or a kit. So this includes other items in it, right? So we've always had this functionality, but what we've now got the functionality of being able to do is you can click this button and it will reorder the items in the list. So for example, if I wanted to push the labor and maybe make it up the top and I want to do that, I can go done. I can save that. That will now, it's all set in that particular order. When I go and print that product on an invoice, it will also come out in that order. So it makes it a little bit more obvious for you as to what sort of order you've got on your bundles. The other thing with your bundles is if I just go into a random product in here, and let's just pretend this was already on some bundle, one or more bundles. If I change the retail price here, it will actually update the retail price on any bundles that it belongs to. Previously, that didn't do that. So that's another area that the functionality has been improved and enhanced. Okay, another cool thing, I'm just going to jump back into the job center. In fact, this happens on any notes field, but the templates have changed. So if I go down to the bottom here and I've got these notes and I've got wherever I've got templates, so this doesn't have to be in the invoice, as I say, it could be in customers, suppliers, products, anything. But if I go into add templates, the templates now have this filter, right? So if I wanted to search for service or something like that, I can find it. Some of our clients have got, dozens and dozens, maybe even hundreds of different templates. And so to make it a bit easier, we've added in this filter. So as I say, you can type in tire, maybe something like that, and go search for it. So you can filter your templates, and then once if I type in brake pads or something like that, I can then select it and put it onto an invoice. That sort of scenario. So the templates, that happens on any template. So the same in here, you've got this filter that happens on any area of the system, right? So just another thing. The other cool thing is under the Actions menu, you've now got this export functionality. Now, what the export allows you to do is you can export customers, vehicles, suppliers, products, and your history. So, for example, if you wanted to, you're one of those guys that wants to manipulate some data, that sort of stuff, you can actually export your history. You go set the date. So let's say it was for the whole month of October because you wanted to do some analysis on it or something like that. You can then go in here. There's two options actually. So you want to export the history items and export the actual history headers. So you've got those two different options here. And if you go and download the items or the actual header itself, then you can go export them to a CSV, an Excel spreadsheet, and do all your manipulation that you want to do on that. So you've got the same functionality with products, suppliers, vehicles, and customers. So you can export your data whenever you want. Another cool thing that's been added in is if we go back to settings and then under the company settings, you'll notice under the vehicle settings here, we've got this show fleet code. So if you're a fleet business, you repair trucks or machinery, that sort of stuff, you can go and say show the fleet code. And what that does is if I set that on and go into the job center, for example, what you'll see is that the fleet code will be actually in the job center itself. It's also displayed in a few other, like some of the reports and some other places in the system as well. So in the booking diary, for example, and a few places like that. So you'll see that the fleet code is maybe a little bit more prominent throughout the system. So that's a setting under the company settings and showing the fleet code. So that's up to you if you want to turn that on as well. Okay, the other thing is if we go into products and I'm going to go and search for, say, this radio here, for example. If I scroll down and serial numbers, I can actually manually add in a serial number. So this is great for when you want to manage serial numbers, but you're just starting out, so you're not necessarily buying it. Or even if you went and did a purchase invoice and you forgot to put the serial number on the purchase invoice, you can actually go and add it in here. We've also created the functionality with serial numbers to actually go and import them as well. So you can go and import the serial numbers. It's a pretty simple file, just the item code that you want to import it against and the serial number. So you can just go and do that. That's really straightforward. And we've also done a number of dealership related things, which we'll do on a separate video, but we do some dealership reports and forms and updating stuff to carsales.com and bike sales and boat sales and so on. So I've done that for dealership as well. So as you can see, there's a few things that have been added in here. There's more to come in the future. We've got a couple of really exciting things actually coming up. So stay tuned for that, but really hope you love it. Thanks for using Workshop software. We really appreciate your help and support, and we're going to continue growing and evolving the application to make it even better and better for you. So thanks again.